So, for the 100th episode of the Feminist Millionaires podcast, I wanted to tell you the best, most feminist, most effective ways to get rich. And I'm super excited for number 6 and number 7, so make sure you stick around and listen to those because they're gonna blow your mind. Okay. Number 1, say no more often. So if you were socialized as a woman, you were taught to say yes to everyone all the time, and your needs come last at the very bottom of the pile. And so part of the reason you are not making as much money as you want to make, as you feel you were meant to make, is because you are helping other people with the things that they want to do, and you don't have a lot of energy left for your business goals, your career goals, the things that you know would pour rocket fuel onto your financial growth. You're not doing them because you don't have the time and the energy to do them. Number 2 is use ChatGPT to overcome your money blocks. ChatGPT can help you figure out the money blocks. So just the first step is just type in the situation. Hey, I know I want to pitch my podcast, myself to be a guest on this podcast, but I keep procrastinating. ChatGPT, please ask me 1 or 2 questions that will help me find the source of this procrastination, the deep underlying issue, so that I can heal it and move forward with the pitch. And then ChatGPT will ask you a couple of questions, you answer them, and then ChatGPT will have some response. And depending on the response, you can ask clarifying questions. You can say, hey, can you give me some positive thoughts about this situation to motivate me? Hey, help me get my ass in gear to finish this in a joyful, positive way. So that's an amazing, incredible way to remove the blockers that have stopped you from doing what you know that you want to do and you know what would help. Number 3, process trauma somatically. So I was working with a client recently and they said, what does being called fat when I was a kid have to do with my business today? Why does it matter? Why does the inner child work matter? Why would I work on healing something from when I was 13 to make more money now? And the thing is, if the pattern is coming up in your body now, this client was feeling very droopy, all of their they were kind of dragging their feet, their whole body felt like lifeless when they were trying to work on their business, and this reminded them of being called fat and feeling like, I'm never going to lose the weight, I can't do it, I'm not going to be able to do it. And so what we're doing is we're healing this deep neural network that is really draining for you and that makes you feel like this is impossible, I can never overcome this. And when we heal these core traumas that are holding us back in every area of your life, in your finances, but they're probably impacting your love life, they might be impacting other areas as well, you can more wholeheartedly do what you want to do, more wholeheartedly move towards your goal and not feel droopy and not feel like you're dragging your feet and your Eeyore energy, which when you're Eeyore energy and you're trying to build a business, it doesn't come off well to potential clients, to potential collaborators. So the more you can heal that trauma, even if it doesn't feel connected, it is going to help you in the long run. Number 4 is spending congruence. So that means spending money on the things that matter to you and not spending money on the things that don't matter to you so much. So an example for me is I like going out to eat and I like eating really yummy, delicious food, but going to a super fancy restaurant where everything's covered in like black ice and has all this like smoke coming up. I mean, that's cool. I like it, but it's more important to me that the food is yummy and nourishing than it has all the bells and whistles. So sometimes with friends or with my partner, if they want to go to a restaurant that, let's say, is going to be like $100 a person, that to me isn't that important. So I might negotiate and suggest a different restaurant. Whereas for you, maybe that taking the photos and taking the videos and you love having those memories. And that's important to you. So it's figuring out what are your core values, what are the game changers for me. Like health is something I'm always going to spend my money on. Dancing is something that brings me health but also brings me joy, so I'm going to spend a lot of money on dancing. Whereas like my partner, for example, he loves eating out more, so he's going to spend more money on going out to eat and beautiful fancy cocktails and all of that. So figuring out where you love to spend and what things that are not so important for you to spend on. Number 5 is be more selfish. So again, if you're socialized as a woman, you were taught to put everyone's needs before your own, and that probably led to you feeling drained. It probably pushed you towards burnout. We know statistically folks socialized as women are more prone to burning out. So being selfish, doing what's one thing today you could do that's selfish, or what's one thing this week that you can do that's selfish, is going to unlock the true self-care. Because we're socialized as women, sometimes what we think is self-care is actually like hurting ourselves. Like, oh, I need to have a better morning routine. I have to get up and meditate and do yoga. Whereas saying what would be selfish unlocks the thing that your body actually knows that you need. And maybe it's chocolate cake. Maybe it's like a super good quality, delicious chocolate cake. Maybe it's going to Costco without the kids and saying to your partner, hey, can you watch the kids? I'm going to Costco. Maybe it's a staycation at a hotel in your city. It doesn't matter what this selfish thing is. When you ask yourself, what would be selfish? What would be delicious? It's going to unlock the thing that's actual self-care that doesn't come from the self-care corporate industrial industry that's telling us all the shit we're doing wrong all the time. So make sure you are more selfish. Number 6, we're getting to the end, is learn to love failure. So failure is a part of building wealth, whether it's investing, whether you have your own business, whether it's career. Sometimes you're going to ask for the raise, you're not going to get it. Sometimes you're going to do a big launch for your business, it's not going to work. Sometimes you're going to invest in a particular stock, and that stock is going to tank. And none of that means you are doing it wrong. We are looking at the graph on the long run, and there's going to be, anyone who invests in the stock market knows that all stocks go like this. Hopefully they're trending upwards, but there are always going to be setbacks. And that's why you also want to diversify, because some companies will go bankrupt, some stocks will go to zero. But if you have a diversified portfolio, that's not going to impact your overall wealth. And the same is true with running a business. When I'm out there on the streets right now pitching myself to podcasts, and I expect out of every 10 pitches to get one yes. I expect 9 no's. And I could get really dramatic and really attached and feel like every no is just like crushing me and crumbling me. But instead, I believe like, oh, I got a no. Great. Just 7 more pitches till I get my yes. There's going to be 10. The 10th one's going to be the yes. So I just got to get through 9 no's to get to the yes. And going back to number 2, with ChatGPT can help you overcome some of those money blocks that might stop you from doing the pitches and feel really heavy in your body. And somatic work also is super powerful for that. The fact that I did 2 podcast pitches today, which I'm proud of myself, I pitched 2 different podcasts, is thanks to the somatic work and the healing the trauma that before held me tight in this really perfectionist place. Okay, the last one, number 7, it's the weirdest, save the craziest weirdest for last, is pee on cash or pee on your credit card. And the reason I am telling you to do this is because as a kid growing up, I had to people please to get my needs met. I had to people please to make money. So as an adult, I kind of projected that onto my bosses, and I started people pleasing my bosses to make money. Here's the good news. I did well. My bosses loved me. I got promotions. The bad news was I ended up burning out because I was just in this people pleasing state all the time, in this perfectionist state, and I wasn't giving some of my best, most brilliant ideas because I was reading my boss's energy and knowing what would please her. And that was really draining for me, to be suppressing some of my best ideas and chameleoning myself to make someone else happy. So I also found myself doing that with my bank account, asking my budget, can I afford this? As opposed to knowing I am a sovereign being. I am the boss of my bank account. I am the boss of my budget. I make good decisions. I was even people-pleasing my bank account. So when you pee on money or pee on your credit card, you shift that power dynamic. You take the power back and you assert your dominance over money, over debt, over your finances, and you remind yourself that I am in charge here. I know what to do. I know the next best step, and that is going to give you the power to take the best steps and take the best care of yourself. So head to the link in my bio and grab the free workshop, Pee on Your Credit Card to Heal. It's going to explain this in even more detail. Don't worry, urination is not required for this process. There are other kink-based tools that are going to be just as powerful and might be the right tool for you. You're going to learn a bunch of those tools, and you're going to learn about how money isn't as real as you think it is. And it was created by the human mind. When humans go extinct, so will money. And so it's governed by the laws of the human imagination, which are much more flexible than the laws of physics. So you're going to learn all of that. So head to the link in my bio or the link in the description to grab that free workshop and totally shift your relationship with money, your relationship with your bank account, your relationship with your business. It's going to be super powerful, and I can't wait. Please let me know how it goes. Bye.